Should I do a second take of that? You know what? No, I'm happy with it. I'm literally sweating right now. Okay. Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're having a wonderful week like always. Yes, today I'm finally starting my Spice Girls discography journey. Now, not only am I listening to the Spice Girls, but I'm starting a brand new series on my channel called A 90's Summer, which means I will be listening to popular pop 90's albums. Like the Spice Girls, I will also be listening to Aqua and Ace of Base, S Club 7, and some other ones I can't think of right now. If you guys have suggestions for this series, just leave a comment below. I mean, what is there to say about the Spice Girls? The Spice Girls is part of my childhood. Honestly, I was obsessed with the Spice Girls. You have no idea. It was crazy. I had so much Spice Girls memorabilia. It's insane. Not only did I have the CDs, I had one of their live concerts in Wembley Stadium on VHS. I also had their Spice World movie on VHS. I had stickers, I had books, I had candy, I had the dolls. I think that's it. But it was still a lot. With their girl power mantra, the Spice Girls redefined the girl group concept by targeting a young female fan base, or a young male fan base as well. Case in point. Instead of a male audience, they led the teen pop resurgence of the 1990s and became pop culture icons of the decade. They are cited as part of the second British invasion of the United States, and I imagine the first British invasion was the Beatles. And yes, the Spice Girls' popularity and their world domination has been compared to that of the Beatles. They are also one of the best-selling artists and the biggest British pop success since the Beatles. It was absolute hysteria. Talk about world domination. It was world domination that very few artists can achieve. And let's not forget the day that the world learned that Jerry left the group. I remember that day all too well. I woke up to go to school. I was about 7 or 8 years old, and I think my dad told me, or somebody told me, and I was walking to the bus stop to catch my school bus, and I was just devastated. I was sad. My little 7-year-old or 8-year-old heart had nothing else to worry about in his life. No worries at all, with the exception of being completely heartbroken that one of the Spice Girls left. I mean, the girls had so many endorsement deals. Their faces were everywhere. I had bubble gum that had Spice Girls rapping. I had Spice Girls lollipops and chocolate bars. They were on soda cans, they were on billboards, they were on diapers, I imagine. I mean, dear God. Now, I will be listening to their debut studio album from 1996 called Spice, and there are 10 tracks. The album is 40 minutes. Now, we did kick off this video with the opening track and also the lead single, Wannabe. What is there to say about this song? It's one of the most, if not the most recognizable song from the 90s. And I remember when I first learned about this song, I was probably 6 or 7 years old, and I remember my uncle started singing the chorus of this song, and I had no idea what he was singing. Why did he keep singing this song? What is this song? And he kept singing it around us. And finally, I learned that it was Wannabe, and the rest is history. And I will say, even though the Spice Girls were targeting their music to young girls, obviously, I mean, they're beautiful women. So I imagine a lot of men were very much into the Spice Girls, not necessarily their music, but you know what I mean. So that's obviously, I feel like, one of the reasons why they were so popular. Not only did young girls and boys love their music, but also women loved their music as well. Men also, but men were attracted to them. They were beautiful. So essentially, I feel like they covered all their bases. I also think one of the reasons why they were so popular is Within the group itself, we have 5 different looking girls, 5 different personalities that the general public could gravitate towards. So there were people who could relate to Ginger Spice. There were other people who could relate to Scary Spice and Sporty Spice, Posh Spice and Baby Spice. And I almost failed to mention the names of the girls in the group. We have Melody Brown, also known as Mel B, Scary Spice, Melody C, Sporty Spice, Emma Bunton, Baby Spice, Jerry Halliwell, Ginger Spice, and Victoria Beckham, Posh Spice. Now, as to which Spice Girl was my favorite as a kid, it would probably be a tie between Baby Spice and Ginger Spice. Now, of course, Wannabe was a smash hit all over the world. It reached #1 in so many countries. It does say here that in a 2014 study, Wannabe was chosen as the most easily recognizable pop song of the last 60 years. Now, it just says a 2014 study, so I don't know how reliable this is. I don't know who conducted the study. I don't know how many participants were involved. And Wannabe was also Spotify's most streamed 1990s song of 2020 by a female artist. And this is definitely one of those 90s songs that just never gets old. I think one of the reasons being is it's just so infectious and catchy. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. That's the part of the song that my uncle was singing when I told you that story about my uncle singing this song, and that was the first time I heard about it. That was the part he was singing. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. I was thinking, what is he talking about? But anyway, I feel like I could keep going on and on and on about this song, but we have to move on to track number 2, Say You'll Be There. And that was track number 2, Say You'll Be There. And this is another infectious song from the Spice Girls. I absolutely love the production on this track. In particular, the harmonica, just the beat, everything about the production on this track is fire, and it's so much fun to listen to. I also want to say that the Spice Girls is one of those artists where you can't help but think of their music videos when you listen to their songs, especially for someone like myself who was essentially raised on the Spice Girls' music videos. Especially this song, Say You'll Be There, I couldn't get the visual of their music video out of my head as I was listening to the song. All that I want from you is a promise you will be there. I'm giving you everything, all that joy can bring, this I swear. And all that I want from you is a promise you will be there. The song's lyrics describe the things the group went through together and how they were always there for each other. It says here that the song received mixed reviews from critics, some who praised the catchiness of the song, but critiqued the production. Now, the production is something I absolutely loved, so I have no idea. How could you not like the production of this song, honestly? Now, Say You'll Be There was selected as the second single from the album. Say You'll Be There didn't do as well as Wannabe on the charts, but it still did very well in countries all over the world. Prior to doing this video, I did a bit of research as to how the group formed and what it was like for them prior to releasing their debut album, what they went through, and the songwriting, just different managements and what have you. It's actually quite interesting to learn about if you are into pop culture. So let's move on to track number 3, To Become One. And that was track number 3, To Become One. And this was always one of my favorite songs from the album growing up. And in particular, I don't know, I have the most memories listening to this song more than any of the other songs, with the exception of Wannabe, perhaps. And the music video, once again, I can't help but think of the music video when I listen to this song, and it's such a beautiful song. Now, of course, growing up, I didn't know the true meaning of the lyrics. I was just singing along to it, To Become One. I don't know what that meant at the time. I didn't care, but I think it wasn't until I was in my later teens that I realized, or I learned, that this song is essentially about sex. I mean, when I learned that, my entire childhood was a lie. The lyrics focus on the bonding of two lovers and also addresses the importance of contraception. This is one of the few Spice Girls songs where I'm actually looking up other people's interpretation of what they think the song means. And this website I use, Song Meanings, there are 50 comments. And that's a lot for a song on this website. Be a little wiser, baby, put it on, put it on. Now, when I was a kid, I thought she was just referring to, like, put on your clothes. Not in a sexual way, or not in the sense of contraception, like putting on a condom. I don't know what I was thinking when I was a kid listening to this song. But I just thought, put on, like, put on your top or something? I don't know. Are you as good as I remember, baby? Get it on, get it on. Because tonight is the night when two become one. I mean, it is very plain and obvious, especially when she says, wanna make love to ya, baby, but I don't know, when I was 6 years old, I didn't know what making love was. I do want to applaud the Spice Girls, though, for putting out a song like this, especially since a lot of teenage girls would be listening to their music, and their whole image is about girl power. So it's nice that they have a song like this, lyrically, about safe sex. It's just such a beautiful song to listen to, melody-wise, and the production, just the entire atmosphere of the song. It's just very pleasant to listen to. Now, someone from EW said that the song is too slow, and the lyrics appear to have been written by a safe-sex-loving unicorn. What does that even mean? You're not being cute or clever saying that. But anyway, let's move on to track number 4, Love Thing. Alrighty, that was track number 4, Love Thing, or Love Thang. I always say it Love Thang. And this is another great, fun song. I love the personalities in the song. They really do bring out their personalities on this entire album, which is something I love. It's not robotic or by the numbers. You can tell they're having a lot of fun recording these songs. And also the melodies, they just sound so cohesive as a group. Now, growing up, this was never one of my favorite songs on the album. I I think I wouldn't skip over it, but if I was to put on this album as a kid, this was never one of the go-to songs. But now that I'm just a little bit older, I can really appreciate the song now, and I don't remember the last time I listened to this song. It's been maybe a decade or more, I don't know, but I almost didn't really remember what the song sounded like. Just like track number 5, Last Time Lover, I don't remember what that song sounds like, but this was a great refresher, and once again, I love the production. This also sounds like a song that, I don't know, maybe Mariah Carey would have put out. Just play it, you feel it, gotta be bold, bold and oh so strong. Get with this, then you got it going on. On and on with the girls named Spice. You wanna get with us, then you better think twice. God help the mister. God help the mister that comes between me and my sisters. And once again, they're bringing girl power into the picture. There's a sense of camaraderie between these girls, how they're looking out for one another, and they're almost protective of each other. But anyway, let's move on to track number 5, Last Time Lover. Oh, I remember it now. Yes. And that was track number 6, Last Time Lover. And this is another song on the album that wasn't one of my favorites growing up, but it's still a very strong song. And I gotta say, we are 5 tracks into the album, and all of these songs could have been hit singles. And once again, I really enjoyed the production. It was very groovy, R&B, and I just loved the beats of the entire song. Last Time Lover, Do You Want to Be My Last Time Baby? Could it be your first time, maybe? We got up and down to it, like the dirty bass in the music. I got my major chords strumming, it took some time, and then we're really buzzing. First bite wet, my appetite. Second helping's always better. I've actually never read the lyrics to this song, and I'm a little shook. Now, obviously, this song is about sex and how perhaps they shouldn't rush into sex. Use your head and don't be blind. Words of love, they don't wash with me. What's the hot rush? No urgency, you see. Crazy boy, potential lover. Someone did say that they think the song is about how he's the last time lover because she doesn't want anybody else after him. First and last lover, brother, there ain't no other. I mean, some people could also interpret the song as losing your virginity as well. But anyway, let's move on to track number 6, Mama. And that was track number 6, Mama. And this is a very, it's a very sentimental and meaningful song. I really like the message of the song. Obviously, everyone has their own relationship with their parents, their mom, their dad, and some people might take for granted that they do have a mom. And obviously, we all go through stages in our lives where we lash out and we become rebellious and we hate our parents, we hate our dad, we hate our mom. We just want to escape and do our own thing, and we might say things we don't mean to them. But as we get older, we look back and think about what we did and said, and we know that it wasn't right. And sometimes we even apologize for what we did. Back then, I didn't know why you were misunderstood. So now I see through your eyes, all that you did was love. Mama, I love you. Mama, I care. You're my friend. And it is a reflective song. I didn't want to hear it then, but I'm not ashamed to say it now. Every little thing you said and did was right for me. I had a lot of time to think about the way I used to be. I never had a sense of my responsibility. I guess this song really does hit home for me now because my mom did pass away a few months ago. So, I'm a little overcome with emotion right now, and I'm actually very proud of myself. I'm actually able to hold it together. It wasn't easy when I would do one of these videos and a song would come up where it reminded me of my mom, and I would just fucking break down and cry and get really emotional. But I think I'm past that stage now in these videos, thank God. But for me now, this song has a completely different meaning, especially now. I mean, the last time I listened to this song was like 10 years ago when I was a teenager. So I can definitely relate to the song a lot more now, and I can appreciate it a lot more now. I guess it's one of those things where you don't know how good something is until it's gone, and I feel like I never actually knew how much I loved my mom and what she did for me until she went away from my life. I guess what I'm trying to say is, if your mom is still around and you have a good relationship with her and you talk to her all the time, don't take those moments for granted, because the feelings you experience when you lose a mom is unlike anything, and it really does change you forever. And it's not until after she dies do you realize how much she sacrificed for you and how much she cared for you and how much she truly did love you. And it's just something I wish I would have appreciated more when she was alive. But anyway, let's move on to track number 7, Who Do You Think You Are? Talk about a workout. Hands down, one of my favorite tracks from the album, and I'm exhausted now. Swing it, shake it, move it, make it, who do you think you are? Trust it, use it, prove it, groove it, show me how good you are. Swing it, shake it, move it, make it, who do you think you are? Trust it, use it, prove it, groove it, show me how good you are. This song is just 90s disco bliss. It really is. The lyrics are about the superstar life and how someone can get trapped in the world of fame. I don't really have much to say about this song other than it's just a great time. So let's move on to track number 8, Something Kind of Funny. Now this is another song on the album that I don't really remember what it sounds like. Okay, now I do. And that was track number 8, Something Kind of Funny. And this is another song on the album that wasn't one of my favorites growing up, but it's still a great song. It's infectious, the production's great, and the beat, the melody. Lyrically, this isn't one of my favorite songs on the album, but I really don't care because it's just catchy as hell. But anyway, let's move on to track number 9, Naked. Alrighty, that was track number 9, Naked, and I was inspired to flip my chair around because that's something they did during one of their concerts that I watched when I was a kid. I think it was the Wembley Stadium one. I don't remember for sure, but they were on stage and they were sitting in chairs with the back front of the chair covering their chest and their other lady parts. So I don't know if they actually were naked or it was kind of an illusion to make it look like they were naked, but I kind of took inspiration from that. I know you can't see, but I did in fact flip my chair around. Naivety and childhood left behind, deprived of the goodness of mankind, past encounters have made her strong, strong enough to carry on. Nothing but a smile upon her face, naked, she wants to play seek and hide. Isn't it hide and seek? Anyway, no one to hide behind, naked. This child has fallen from grace, naked. Don't be afraid to stare, she's only naked. Someone did say that in the song, they are speaking of how throughout this girl's life, this woman is able to see people for who they are and only show them the true her. She strips them of their outer selves and can see what's beyond their looks. In the phone call, however, it speaks of how both she and the man can see each other for who they are, and although she can barely resist his looks, she refuses to change who she is for this person who just plainly isn't worth it. Okay, that was someone else's interpretation of the song, and it makes complete sense. Someone else said that they think the song is about a girl who was sexually abused as a child and has now found love, but the guy, knowing about her childhood, is scared. I really do like this song, and now that I've sat down and actually read the lyrics, it's actually a bit darker than I initially thought it was, especially when I was a kid. I just kind of liked the song. I didn't really think about it. I just thought it was a song about getting naked. But anyway, we have come to the end of the album, track number 10, If You Can't Dance.
If you can't dance, if you can't dance, if you can't dance, if you can't dance, if you can't dance to this, you can't do nothing for me, baby. Whenever I go out, wherever it may be, never is there a Kiana, but I keep looking at me. 1, 2, 3. Take my hand and dance with me. If you can't dance, if you can't dance, if you can't dance, if you can't dance, you can't do nothing for me, baby. Madre mía, chico, tú no tienes nada. Que susto, que seco, que polla, que pienso, no traje macho. Hey macho, si nos baila esto no. If you can't dance to this, you can't do nothing for me, baby.
And that was track number 10, If You Can't Dance. And this is another great song on the album. I remember really liking this song as a kid. If you can't dance to this, you can't do nothing for me, baby. Now we got the flavor, the bad behavior, the rhythm, the melody, the juice for you to savor, rock it, vibe it, but somebody's driving. You take a tip, sort it out, get a grip. Oh my god. Wherever it may be, never is there a Keanu but a dweeb looking at me. But even if I did score, he lose on the dance floor. Take a deep breath, count 1, 2, 3. This is such a groovy song, and once again, I love the beat, and I like how Jerry sings some Spanish in the song as well. There's also horns you can hear in the production, and police sirens. But anyway, that was all 10 tracks of Spice by the Spice Girls, and I mean, this is such a strong album, and I like how there's only 10 tracks. There are 12 tracks, there are 13, 14. There are 10 tracks, and each one of these songs could have been a single. Each song on this album, I feel like, is a hit. Obviously, there are songs on this album that are stronger than others, but it's still a very cohesive album, and the production is fire. I absolutely loved it. Disco, R&B, dance, pop. It's great. I also find the group's harmonies are great. I also like how each of the girls get their own moments, their own solo moments throughout all the songs, unlike some other girl groups. I mean, we don't need to name names, Pussycat Dolls. And I'm sure I don't need to tell you, but the melodies and the hooks on this album are infectious, they're contagious, and they get stuck in your head, and I love the personality of these songs as well, and the personality of the girls, and they just make this album a lot of fun to listen to. I also like the themes of the album, girl power and sticking up for your girls and sisters, the camaraderie, and also they're talking about dating and guys, safe sex. But at the same time, there's still something very pure about this album. So if you love pop music, if you love dance pop, which I imagine you do because you're watching this video, this album is honestly pop perfection. Each of the songs are so well crafted, and it's just a spectacular pop album. So I think that's all I wanted to say on the album. What are your guys' impressions of the album? What are your favorite songs? Which of the Spice Girls is your favorite? And tell me your stories surrounding your love for the Spice Girls when you were a kid. Maybe you just discovered them, but if you were like me during the 90s, what was it like for you? Did you go see them live? Did you collect memorabilia? Were you just as obsessed with them as I was? So in my next Spice Girls video, we will be moving on to their second studio album called Spice World. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. You can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Twitter, you can message me, you can say, hey, how are you? And I will see you next time. My city is going through a major heat wave right now. Today, it's plus 36 degrees Celsius. It's gonna be a scorcher. Anyway, take care.